right, I got my live chat working. We got the live... I wasn't asking you. Listen. This is my show. I get to do the introductions here. Oh, that water is so good. That water is so good. Hey, guys. Been a minute. How are ya? You like my new setup? You like the scrolling skyscrapers? I hope so. So we've come here to UNIRocktv to discuss the filing from Kyle Curtis today. Slow start to the live stream, but don't worry. As I get used to the new YouTube studio, that will change. I promise. Busy. We're staring at a blank screen. Oh, my God. This is so unprofessional. It's the fourth button from the right, my dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, on my screen, I have the filing from today by Kyle Curtis against Steve McCrae. As you may have heard, Steve McCrae celebrated victory a few days ago when some of him and his friends did a ding-dongy boomer meme. Actually, I have the boomer meme. I'm just not going to be able to play the, I need Menace's video. I swear to God it was in general. And I got it. Here's the boomer meme. Oh, I've got their boomer meme for you. Do you guys want to see the boomer meme? Because if you didn't know, they were celebrating victory. Now, Menace clipped their victory celebration. Let me go ahead and... I told you guys, this stream is you're going to take me a second to get everything looking good and set up here. Okay, now I can't play you the music from this video that's detailing their boomer meme, but so that you understand what's the full kind of ish. Oh, I haven't even shared the video yet. I should tell everybody that we're live. Everybody live now on UNIRock too. I'm rusty. I'm pretty rusty. Oh, did you notice my shirt? I wore this shirt because his last name is Potts. It's just a funny joke. His name's Benjamin Potts. It's like a Harry Potter type thing, right? Hogwarts, Harry Potter, Benjamin Potts. It's not a boomer joke. It's not a dad joke. You stay out of this, ding dong. You want to see a dad joke? You want to see a boomer meme? Busy? You want to see a boomer meme? Well, I've got a boomer meme for you. I just need to get my song queued. Okay, because I have to replace the song. Here we go. This awesome video is on the channel Menace to Sobriety. Make sure you go support him with likes and such things. I will hit every super chat, I promise. I want to look at a boomer meme. Thank you, Leroy. Well, you're getting to look at one now. He put in that little funny, it's an inside joke of Steve booming out, yeah. Okay, so what you got here is their celebration. They thought they caught Kyle Curtis forging bank documents, forging affidavits, forging other thingies, and they were going to all tweet together so that they could defeat the evil Kyle Curtis with their boomer meme. Reds, maybe next time compare apples to apples. No, Menace. Reds is a classic. Reds only operates off of straw men. Next time compare apples to apples. Don't use a snail mail paper to compare a digital that has an address change since the account was open. Be careful, Menace. Reds doesn't understand these types of concepts. We don't want Reds booming out like he was earlier today on Steve's show. Okay, I got it. Where's the UNIRock 2 thingy? It's like I have nothing set up. What is it called? A viewer count? I don't even know anymore, bro. I don't even know anymore. I got to get used to streaming again. Yes, let me interrupt this boomer meme celebration for a minute. Interruption. We're interrupting their boomer meme celebration, and I'm going to interrupt us interrupting their boomer meme celebration. So Reds thought he would debunk me earlier today by comparing Kyle's Discover card to one single Discover card envelope address thingy. Now, Reds, I know that it's hard for you to debunk, to comprehend anything complicated whatsoever, but my dude, you can't just take Kyle's Discover card and compare it to one person's envelope. In fact, it would just be dishonest, straw-manny. You see, we took it and asked the entire audience of thousands of people, and out of them, they had the people who had Discover cards to compare it, and many people had different fonts, and many people's barcodes did the same thing Kyle's did. Reds thought, because he went and searched around for somebody with a snail mail who didn't have those things, that he caught Kyle on forgery. Now, I get it. He just doesn't understand anything about the scientific method. It's understandable. Back to the boomer meme. Yes, Busy, that's dead cuckities right there. Yes. So are you getting the picture? Do you guys realize what's happened here? Because essentially, if you don't yet, these guys thought that they had outed Kyle Curtis. They thought they'd caught him forging papers that he submitted to a court of law, and they thought they got him simply because Red's rhetoric checked his bank statement against one document. That was enough. It's almost like, I don't know, I could compare it to Nathan Oakley and his Coriolis argument, or his angle of attack argument, Nathan Oakley's. Now, what Menace is doing here is continually poking fun at Red's rhetoric's video from earlier today, but you know, this was a hell of a celebration. They got a lot of people to retweet this boomer meme. They really thought they came in with the banger. So, you see, I just want you to feel the level of celebration that they did before having a single expert to talk to. Even though they knew on Twitter that I had talked to experts who had confirmed that what they discovered did not equate to forging. Did he forge? I don't know. All I know is he didn't forge by the reasons that they said he did. The two things they submitted. Now, they had one other thing. Remember, they have one other thing. Are you guys done? I'm kind of done. Yeah, I'm kind of done. So let's see here. What's the end of the video? If you're on this list, maybe an admission of stupid followed by an apology. I would agree with that. I would agree with that, Menace. Yeah, I think they should apologize probably, right? You are an idiot. Oh, Menace to sobriety. You are so funny, my friend. What a silly, funny video. Menace to sobriety. He deserves a round of applause. All right, so here's what happened next. Next, Kyle Curtis, I'm sorry. Whoop! All my favorite people in one place. Thank you, Unifam. Well, thank you, Leroy. So I know this is boring and it's played out and we want to get this over with. Kyle Curtis filed in court this affidavit today. Or is that what it's called? Busy, an affidavit? I wouldn't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a dumb YouTuber. Dumb as a rock. That's right. Dumb as a rock. So for those of you who haven't caught up yet, the bank statement issue is debunked. Just because you have two different fonts could be easily explained because the bank might have an envelope that they print out and it has all the information on it other than the address of where it's going to, and then they put it through a different printer to put the addresses on it. I don't know. I could think of a million reasons why there'd be two different fonts. The problem is, Does the issue happen to many people, or did it just happen to Kyle Curtis? And of course, we found it happened to many people. And does it happen differently when you look online? Yes. Therefore, they didn't do even I want you to understand, they didn't even do the slightest bit of due diligence, as they always say, before positing to a judge, trying to make a court think that Kyle had committed several felonies by forging documents. This is how desperate they are, okay? Just so you got that. Barcode issue, same thing. You need an expert to look at it. Why? Because the barcode issue happens for many people. Reds, Rhetoric, are you paying attention? It's not possible for him to pay attention? Oh, I get the joke. Funny joke, Busy. Are you paying attention, Reds? The barcode issue happens also to many people who changed their address online, Reds. Can we get a round of applause for Reds Rhetoric for finally listening to what we were saying, please? Can we get a round of applause, Busy? That's good enough. Once people change their address online, the same thing happens to them with their barcode that happened to Kyle Curtis. Now, that's enough for me not to believe Kyle didn't do anything wrong, to at least need more evidence before I'll believe it. But if you look out into the internet land, if you look out into YouTube or Twitter, you're just going to see them celebrating and them damning Kyle, damning another YouTuber for forging documents, when in reality, many, many people all have this thing happen to them. Now, Benjamin Potts is the ex-boyfriend. I have put out a community post to purposely avoid live streaming about the Benjamin Potts issue, personally, because I wanted to give it enough time to kind of let it sit and see where things went before I commentated on it, due to the fact that it is Kyle's current ex-boyfriend. I don't want to know anything about Kyle's personal life other than what I need to know to make up my mind in this case. And also, I don't want to do any scummy things to other YouTubers like that. This is one of the, as you saw in my last video upload where I addressed all of this, it's pretty scummy for them to try to use B-Pots? Can we call him B-Pots, Biz? Okay. It's pretty scummy to try to use B-Pots in that way. It's very scummy. It's very like looking in the bedroom window at night kind of scummy, if you get my drift. It's kind of like holding an iPhone up to someone's bedroom window while they're sleeping, kind of scummy is how I would compare what Reds and Steve did to their relationship. But I mean, my point is, if Potts is going to expose Kyle Curtis for lying, I want to tell you, I know they want to tell you, but I would tell you too. They don't think I would tell you, even though at one point I was friends with Steve McCrae, and I came here to tell you when he was lying and prove his lies to you. For some reason, they think I just wouldn't come here to tell you if Kyle Curtis lied. Why? They say because of reasons. Busy, you are too funny. Your teleprompter is too funny. I can't do this tonight. It's too funny. Too funny, Biz. They say because of reasons that I wouldn't come here to tell you. Oh, that's the Rock-A-Lot jar. I don't even know if I have a UNIRock jar. Do I have a UNIRock? I don't even think I do. I'm just going to turn off the Rock-A-Lot jar. Anyway, I am so unprepared for this stream. You guys do not. I don't deserve to have a live audience. Potts put himself into the mix. I don't have any sympathy for him, says MD. I am going to go to the live chat. Now, I do have member-only mode on. I might turn it off here in a little bit, but I want to hear what my members, the people that fund my channel, have to say, and I want to give you priority. So I will ask your opinion if you just let me get through this, because the only thing out there that will tell us if B-Pots is telling the truth or not is the affidavit submitted by Kyle Curtis today in a court of law. It actually, now we have both sides. I know that Red's Rhetoric was desperate to get those donos and rush to his channel, wanting to cuck out Kyle's ex-boyfriend. I know that Steve McCrae was desperate to get those super chats cucking out Kyle's ex-boyfriend. I, on the other hand, at least wanted to have both sides. So now, let's see what Kyle Curtis's side is and compare it to what we saw. The atrocities The booming, the yelling and screaming, the silver flaps flying. When Benj, I can't stand your teleprompter. I can't stand it. It's so funny. Let's see what Benjamin Potts has to say now that we have both sides and actually can compare his side to the evidence, baby. Hit it, Biz. Oh, stop, Busy. I love that music. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Because there is something funny about these guys using a star witness in court and then rushing him in front of you on YouTube. There's something funny about them not being able to say that they have confirmed that Kyle forged something, at least to a believable degree, but yet filing in a court of law and then trying to parade Obenj. If they would have just filed their accusations, that would be different than them filing the accusations and trying to systematically propagandize you with Potts's statements. Those things change the narrative. Those things lead you. Are you a sheep? Are you easily led? Do you have a little leash with the name Stebbs Property on it, being yanked by a man with boomer flaps? I don't, god damn it. I sure don't have a boomer flap leash around my neck. I want to make up my own mind. And that's what we're going to do right now. Take me into the studio, Busy. Damn, it feels good to be in this studio. Pump up the volume, my dude. Oh, yeah, I love it. I'm loving it. I'm digging it. What do we got? Leroy, Kyle owned these guys. Again, I do agree. Now, I've had the luxury of watching Nate the lawyer and Agrippa go through this. I want to get Agrippa on the show sometime on Rock a Lot. Maybe I can get Menace, Agrippa, Nate, and all to jump on Rock a Lot a little bit. You know, that would be tight. Okay, here we go. We're about to dive in this. I hope you're ready. You've already seen Boomer Flap McGee go at this. You've already seen the Soy Rhetoric go at this. You've already probably seen Nate and Agrippa go at this. But let's take a look. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something different than everybody else has here with the court filing. I am going to compare it to the claims that other people have made and call out where I find inconsistencies in what they've said compared to the new evidence that Kyle submitted. So I'm going to try to do something a little bit newer than anybody else did. Everybody else just went through this. I'm going to try to stop where I've heard something else and actually talk about it when I get to a specific part of this. Let's try it out. Here we go. Affidavit of Kyle Curtis. He's duly sworn, says, my name is Kyle. I'm over the age of 18 and competent. I am submitting the affidavit. Whoopsie, somebody exposed me, boomer. I gotta read it. Janie says, it seems the whole gang of Steve and Reds can only gather 62 IQ for all of them combined. All their combined intellect was swamped by one person. And they do not even realize how dumb they look. And we got Leroy, and Leroy. I read all those good. I agree, Janie. And let me respond to your super chat before we get going. I just think that, look, what Steve was saying earlier was something akin to, hey, we saw an inconsistency in the barcode and the fonts. You can't get mad at us. Oh, hold on. I'm not doing this. Busy? Stop the music. He didn't have any music playing. Hold on. I'm going to try to do an actual impression. Blah, 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 boom, 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 blah, blah, flap, flap. Thank you. Turn the music back on. Anyway, he was trying to say, I can't even do this tonight. Steve's basically saying it was his due diligence to file this stuff in court if he saw an inconsistency. You're wrong, provably, Steve. And I know you don't understand the complex internet philosophy that I have to pull from to be able to counter what you said, but I'll go ahead and try now. You know, you needed to have an expert actually look at it before you lodged the accusation in court. You needed to have an expert before you lobbed the accusation in court, point one. Point two, let's just say you wanted to lob the accusation in court because of time constraints. You're lying. You could have submitted to the court for more time, had an expert go through it, and then lobbed the accusation if it had any substantial evidence to it. Though, when you paraded pots in front of the audience is when you took away any sympathy for you trying to do your due diligence. You tried to do the opposite of due diligence. You rushed Potts in front of the audience so that he would try to back up your claim to put that into the mind of the people watching. So you get no out for what you've done with Potts. You don't get an out for it. No matter how much you yell and scream and cry, you don't get an out. Neither does Reds. You guys have proven that if any YouTuber works with you or tries to do stuff with you, they better run for the hills, because when you get mad at them, you're going to cuck out their exes to try to gain some points with the YouTube audience. Now, back to the document. All right. In my previous affidavit submitted July 28th, I testified that beginning on July 16th, I lived at a place. I'm not going to read it. I also submitted a rental agreement for that address, along with credit card statements and my 1099 tax form. Benjamin Potts is Kyle's ex-boyfriend. I, Kyle, have reviewed the allegations in his declaration. Many of these allegations are false and serve only to retaliate against me following a bad breakup. At this point on Steve's video, Stephen Cheshire state, ooh, we got him because Kyle said many are false. Not everything he said is false. Yes, Stephen Cheshire, I know it's hard for you guys to track this, but Potts started it off with, hi, my name's Benjamin Potts. So if Kyle would have said that everything Benjamin said was false, it wouldn't have been correct. You see how people actually... See, you need to actually listen to Kyle a little so you can get what it's like for someone who at least makes an attempt not to constantly lie. You get me? But when I saw these guys, when I saw them going through this, they literally tried to say that this part was some kind of bad thing for Kyle. They were saying... Potts, he says he reviewed the allegations and he said that many are false. Ha ha, we caught him, says Cheshire. Ha ha, we caught him, says Steve. No, my dude, he's just saying that many are false. The false ones are false, and the ones that aren't false aren't false. That's all he's saying here. You guys are, I'm so glad you guys did this. It really proves my points that I made in December when I called you guys out. I'm just saying, you guys are too nice to me. Steve, Chesh, you guys try so hard to prove me right. I just appreciate it. Thank you for the day. Now, first, Mr. Potts claims that I never lived with him. The allegation is directly contradicted by my July 28 affidavit, and the accompanying documentation. I am attaching further documentation to this affidavit showing that I did, in fact, live at a place, I'm not going to read it, in July and August 2019. The relevant time period for the purpose of this litigation, which is the service issue. I know that there's a lot of people who aren't following this case, but they like to go to Twitter and pretend like they are. This entire part about service only has to do with when he was served. That's all. He doesn't have to submit rent statements for all the other months. He doesn't have to submit every recorded word he said from when he was born until he was 10. He just needs to submit the relevant data for this litigation. I know it's hard to track this, but if you listen closely, you'll get it. Those confused Twitter peeps. Now, oh, by the way, yes, Benjamin Potts has posted that he's done. He's out. Benjamin Potts I should have said this in the beginning. I might have, but I don't remember. Benjamin Potts has put on Twitter that too many people believe Kyle, and because of that, Benjamin thinks that none of us care about the truth, so he's out. And if he's listening to my Periscopes, then he's just BSing, basically. He's just BSing at that point. I've talked in my Periscopes about how people don't blindly believe Kyle. If you would have looked on the internet when Potts came out, a lot of people believed Potts. And they thought that Kyle did forge something because of the deceptive way McCrae and Red's rhetoric paraded Potts, cucked Potts in front of everybody, right? So Potts did have a level of belief. In the first few seconds where Potts is finally getting people due to this filing to not believe Potts. Why? Because Kyle completely devastates his story with this filing. Now Potts is saying that he's out. And I don't want to insult Potts. Potts, I'm not going to try to put any of your personal stuff out. I'm going to skip it if it's in this filing. You just have to understand, when you come in here and you start contacting us YouTubers and you start deciding to go on only one side streams, only talk to one side, this is what ends up happening, dude. I gave you the best advice ever. A few nights ago, Potts decided to jump in my Periscope, not to talk to me, just in my chat. And it was his @ sign. It was him. And he stated that I told him, I said, Potts, you need to get a lawyer. You know, you could be doing some stuff that could land you in jail. Get a lawyer and protect yourself. Do not go to Steve's side. Do not go to Kyle's side. Don't help anybody. Put the truth out. Get a lawyer. Do what you need to do. Get the truth out there. Potts didn't listen to me. Instead, he's been buddying up to Steve. Now Steve has used Potts for his means, chewed him up, and spit him out. And Potts stated he's going to out. He's, quote, I'm out. I'm just telling you his direct verbiage. He may not go anywhere. He may not go anywhere. He may not peace out. You never know what the hell's going to happen, y'all. I'm just telling you, that's his last post. So, back to it. Back to it. Okay. Now, first I'm attaching a screenshot. Oh, hold on. July 28th affidavit accompanying documentation. I'm attaching further documentation to the affidavit showing I did, in fact, live at the address. The relevant time period for the purpose of litigation. This litigation. Okay, first, I'm attaching a screenshot of an Amazon purchase from August 4th, 2019, showing that an order was shipped to me at a road. The screenshot is attached as Exhibit A. Second, I'm attaching a W-9. So the Amazon form is in the filing. Literally, pictures submitted as exhibits are in this. All of these. This filing has it all. Now, I'm stopping like I told you I would because Steve, I just heard Steve's response to this. He's booming out on Twitter and he boomed out on his channel about how an Amazon shipment doesn't mean that he lived there. I'm Steve. Kabucha. Amazon. Steve, I know it's hard for you to get this, my dude. Please listen clearly. If Kyle hadn't already filed a rental contract, maybe the Amazon wouldn't be proof of anything. Then if Kyle wouldn't have caught Potts admitting that he did live there, like when you interviewed him. When you interviewed Potts, Steve, Potts said before the interview that he never lived with Kyle. Kyle never lived at his house. He was never living there. But then, when Potts was on your show, Potts said that he kicked Kyle out on their 1-year anniversary. Yes, says. SM said that none of the evidence that Kyle submitted today carries no weight and are useless. Their live stream was all kinds of cringe-worthy. SM and crew are absolutely ignorant and slimy. I have to agree with your opinion, and I disagree with his. I think once you see this evidence, you're going to think that, that Kyle just completely demolished their stupid arguments because he did. I've been working out. I'm going to have to drink water. I don't want to get dehydrated. Sorry. So what I was saying was, Potts told everybody that Kyle never lived with him and then admitted that he kicked Kyle out on their 1-year anniversary. Pretty bad. That, though, is evidence. You see, the owner stating that Kyle was there to be kicked out is more evidence that Kyle lived there. And every other piece of evidence, like the bank statement and everything addressed to that address, is evidence that he lived there. So an Amazon shipment does, let me say this really slowly for Steve because I know he doesn't get it. An Amazon shipment might not prove that Kyle lived there, but with all of the other data, all the other evidence combined with the Amazon shipment, Steve, I'm glad he filed it. You may not be glad he filed it, but I think it's going to matter to that judge to see even trivial things. Not only were tax forms, not only do we have the boyfriend admitting he lived there, not only do we have a rental agreement, not only does Kyle have receipts that I'm going to show you in this filing. Not only does Kyle have money being transferred out of his bank account to Benjamin Potts for rent, on top of all of that, even the most trivial things like an Amazon shipment for Kyle went to Potts' house. Yes, it makes the Amazon statement very worthwhile, Steve. I get you. I know, Steve. I know it's hard for you to track this. No problem, I do. I got to run to the gas station, so we got to get through this. I'm going to be out of vape. Got to go pick some up. Okay. So, where are we at? Now, then Kyle goes in to state that he doesn't just have this Amazon shipment that went to Potts' house for Kyle, that also he has a W-9 form. Now, Cheshire made one of her most epic quotes I've ever heard her say when she was looking at the tax form. She was looking at a government W-9 tax form and saying, Kyle's screwed. Why doesn't Kyle show us any evidence that he actually changed his address with the government? While staring at a government tax form with an address change on it. Oh, I can't even think about it right now. I can't even think about it. Thank you, Busy. Thank you. The laugh track helps so much. Oh, my God. It helps so much. The laugh track helps so much. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to laugh your ass off, just go watch their stream. Because, my God, dude. Yes, Cheshire, a tax form is when you change your address with a tax form. You're changing your address with the government. So I want to address something that they've been putting out as a narrative for a long time. They say that Kyle should have changed his address with the post office. Woo, 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 woo. In North Carolina, you cannot change your address with the post office. All you can do is get a temporary mail routing form. While you're getting that mail routed, it is your duty before that mail routing runs out to change your address yourself with each company that sends you mail. It is not the post office's duty to update your address. You're not required to call the post office. The way they're making it sound, he should have called the post office and said, I've got to change my address, post office, sir. But you have to change your address with the people that send you mail, not the post office, Cheshire. And I do get it. Since you've always lived a sheltered life, you have no fucking clue that Kyle changing his address with the work and every other place where he gets mail, which he's proven now, is adequate. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't just walk into the post office and slap the post office guy in the face and say, change my address, I'm Cheshire. I believe dogs should eat chocolate for every meal. Just so you know, Chesh. Okay. All right. Okay. Because of my address change, on my I-9 reported to my employer that my new address was on that last page of the form. I also listed that the address in my home address under the employee information, a form provided by my employer, Mr. Potts, was listed as Kyle's first emergency contact. Steve, I know you went to say that everything Kyle filed is nothing. But this is a lot of evidence that he lived with Potts, that Potts was his emergency contact, and that Kyle's going to win this case. Second, Mr. Potts claims that I forged his signature on 2 documents submitted to the court, the rental agreement and an affidavit. Now, this is important. This part is very important, guys, because now that we've debunked the whole bank statement is forged argument, because we have, it is debunked. They need to show evidence if they want to say it's forged, because what they showed does not prove it was forged. Even Cheshire admitted that. She said, and I quote, I cannot prove Kyle forged this, but Kyle is proven to have forged this. Now, there was a few minutes in between that, but she said that today. Oh, my God, in heaven help me. This is false, he says. He did not change he did not forge a signature. I sent Mr. Potts a message confronting him about the allegation. In that message, I reminded Mr. Potts of the night on which he signed the affidavit that I submitted to the court with an earlier motion. In response, Mr. Potts did not deny that he signed the affidavit. Instead, he responded, quote, "Good thing you got that notarized while I was apparently drunk." My message and Mr. Potts' response are attached as Exhibit C. Now I'm stopping it because Steve McRae is on Twitter booming out like he's on the end of the Titanic, and Ruhif is behind him holding him up. I feel like the king of the world with his silver flaps flopping in the wind. I know that you think this is complete bullshit, Steve, but the reason why it is significant that Potts said this is because Potts is admitting he signed it. Now Steve will say, "Nuh-uh, Uni. Potts is being sarcastic." Okay, even if he's being sarcastic about being drunk, he still signed it. Then Steve will say, "That makes no sense because Potts used the word notarized." Well, that either means they signed it at a notary, or it means that Potts thinks that by him signing it, he is notarizing it. Potts just could have misspoke, but the thing that matters is he didn't respond to Kyle and say, "I didn't sign that. You are a liar, Kyle." You remember, Kyle's saying to Potts, "I know the night you signed it. I can prove you signed it. You really okay telling the court that you didn't sign it?" And his response is not, "No, I didn't sign it. No, you're lying, Kyle. You're a liar." No, his response is this, Steve. Pay attention. "Good thing that you got that notarized while I was apparently drunk." He's saying the notarization is him signing the paper, dingbat. It's so simple to read it and understand what Potts was saying. Gabriel says, "Can we just play the clip?" Steve saying, quote, "We knew it was his old address. He moved in with his boyfriend." What happened to that narrative? Gabriel, that is the same narrative as, "I don't have a 50-50 with Kyle. I can't sue him." He just changes it later so that he can sue him. And it's the same narrative as, "I have a contract with Kyle." Then in another clip, "I don't have a contract with Kyle." Every time something happens that he needs to change, it immediately changes. And if you bring it up, you get boomed at. As we all know. Okay. Thank you, though, Gabriel. Good point, my dude. Appreciate you. Missed you, man. Glad to see you. All right, next up. So, now, the message that Kyle sent Potts and the message that Potts responded with is attached as Exhibit C. Next up. I have been in contact with my cell phone provider to request copies of deleted text messages with Mr. Potts. While I was not able to obtain those text messages by today's filing deadline, those messages, once received, will show unequivocally that Potts signed both the rental agreement and affidavit submitted to the court. Now, unlike Steve, when Kyle has promised us things, especially the judge, he ends up showing it. So as soon as Kyle gets that printout, he's going to show you what Potts said on the nights. Kyle knows the night it was signed, where it was signed, how it was signed, and he's going to prove it in court. I really think that at this point, he's got this thing completely done. He's shown that Potts is just an ex-boyfriend who's angry with Kyle, who came out to try to weaponize his anger, his broken heart back at his ex-boyfriend because he misses Kyle most. Kyle misses him too. It's like any relationship that ends. Though, you put yourself in their shoes. Remember your closest relationship where you lived with somebody for a year. And then imagine that when you guys broke up, within days, there was some creepy dude and his creepy little Reds buddy, right? The little Reds dude sitting on his shoulder going, yes, Jabba the Hutt. And they're going right up to you or your ex saying, "Hey, you want to testify in court and really fuck over your ex? Your ex left you. Come testify. Your ex left. Oh, you're mad at your ex, aren't you? Get back at your ex. Help me get back at your ex. Let's both get back at your ex." Just put yourself in their shoes. And the whole time, nothing but lobster roll slobber coming out of his mouth. I'm also attaching 2 screenshots from my Zelly account. Wait, did I read these? Yes, I did. 2 screenshots from my Zelly account showing that I made rental payments to Mr. Potts in 2 installments, July and July 30th. Now, of course, Steve's audience, being as dingbat as they are, and some people in other places are saying, why didn't Kyle show every payment? Kyle doesn't have to show every payment to the court. The court does not want to see every damn payment. The court wants to see the payment for when he was served. That's all that matters. That's all he needs to show. The court wouldn't even take him, probably. They would say, why are you submitting all this extra evidence that's completely irrelevant? I just need the damn money you gave for rent on the day on the month you were served. That's all the court wants. That's why he only gave that. But Kyle has many more receipts, just so you know. Now, I've also received the declaration of Megan Joyce, in which Megan claims that I forged the address on my Discover Bank statement because, in her opinion, because she's not an expert, she's just a clerk for a law firm. In my opinion, the address is typed in 2 different fonts. That allegation is false. Attached to Exhibit E is a screenshot of the same bank statement showing the same address. Now, you can go ahead and throw out that Kyle forged the bank statement because Kyle contacted Discover and had Discover send absolute evidence when he changed his address. And yes, it is when he was supposed to have changed his address. And he's given it to the court. So I cannot even believe to hear Reds. I can kind of believe. I know how bad Reds is at debunking, following things, science, anything else. So I do get Red sitting there after he reads this stuff saying, I still think Kyle forged things. Can I have my soy milkshake now? I kind of get it. But still, you'd think they'd realize that they're broadcasting live and everybody is watching them trying to determine if they're lying to them or if Kyle's lying to them. So I'm sorry to say it. When you see these guys do what they did, when you see them set Kyle up for this, right? Then not just put Potts in court, but parade him to YouTube to make a shit ton of super chats off of his ass, right? Then, on top of that, when they get this filing, they don't even take it seriously. They just treat it like the flat earthers treat it when we try to give them proof of a globe earth. That's what Stephen Reds did. They finally came out to show you again that all they are as bad as the flat earthers that they debunk. They were cognitively dissonant after reading this. They could not believe that Kyle didn't fake the bank statements or that he was living with Potts. But I still don't understand it. It's so mundane. It's so stupid. It's like they can't even let this case get to somewhere so they can make some actual arguments. It's almost like they're getting hung up in the very beginning of the argument over semantics. It's almost like I got deja vu. Where else have I seen 2 people that constantly get hung up over semantic arguments before? I don't know. I must be crazy. Let's keep going. Now, attached is Exhibit E. It is a screenshot of the same bank statement showing the same address. Ms. Joyce also alleges that my Discover statement was altered because the USPS barcode in the deposit slip corresponds with a Pleasant Garden address rather than a Charlotte address, saying that there are 2 different zip codes. I cannot explain why. I can. I have a tech person who can tell you exactly why that happened with the bank statement. And I will have them make a presentation for us, and I'll do it live. I'm just not going to do it tonight. Essentially, what Kyle says here, he contacts Discover's engineering support team, and they will contact him within 5 business days so that he can have a team of experts that wrote the code tell him why this has happened. But I'm going to tell you right now, as you know, if you've watched my Periscopes or if you've followed me at all anywhere else, we have already fully debunked the barcode argument. It is what makes the boomer meme that Fight the Flat Earth and others participated in so boomery. Just so you know, they rushed to Celebration. You know, I'm having deja vu. It's almost like I remember another time when they rushed to Celebration, like 5 different streams. I don't know. Maybe I must just be having a lot of deja vu. Okay, next page. The declarations submitted to this court on September 9th are consistent with the efforts by this is where it gets good. this is where finally it gets good, because Kyle Curtis has had enough. Scotty Forbes Lee, Kyle's lawyer, got harassed so bad on Twitter, she did something that she's never had to do. She had to private her Twitter account because of how much harassment was coming from Steve's camp. That is a fact. You can even do a search when it happened and see all of the tagging, all of the harassment at Scotty Forbes Lee, Kyle's attorney. Now, luckily, Scotty Forbes Lee is something that everybody else that Steve and his friends harasses isn't. You know what that is? Scotty is an officer of the court. I have been told that Scotty can actually handle this finally and hopefully put a stop to Steve and his audience doing this dumb shit that they do, where they harass people on social media when they get mad about Steve's problems that Steve creates and perpetrates. Now, the other harassment that Steve and Ruhif have lobbed at Kyle has finally been addressed, and it is logged into the court case now. Gabriel says, by the way, James said Steve is no longer a mod on MDD due to him being an a-hole in the chat. I think he thought he had an NSS back and let himself go. I agree, my guy. I agree. Now listen to this, because this is the best damn part. The best part. The declarations submitted to this court on September 9th are consistent with the efforts by McCrae and the individual bankrolling the litigation for him, multimillionaire Ruhif, to harm Kyle's reputation and my ability to make a living. Attached is Exhibit F and G are two examples of such behavior. The first is an email that Ruhif sent to my employer, falsely accusing me of forging a court document before Ruhif even had a technical team confirm or debunk the fact that something was forged. Ruhif went and started pestering Kyle's employers, telling them that he had forged a document in court, and it's in the lawsuit. The reason why this is so massive is because Ruhif is going to get sued. This is called torturous interference. It's also called literal harassment. And it happened not on YouTube like Ruhif and Steve have been doing for a year. This finally happened right here in court now. It's filed in court. Ruhif is going to get sued by, I'm just giving you my opinion, of course, but he's getting sued. And I'm sure Kyle's not going to have a problem, because every single lawyer that follows this case, every single educated legal person, of which I'm not, and every single other lay person, of which I am, looks at this and says, oh yeah, Kyle's going to win a lawsuit against this guy for doing this. And I'd have to agree. I think Kyle is. So we aren't just going to be seeing this non-sec lawsuit being tossed out Wednesday. Hopefully we're going to see this thing get tossed out Wednesday, and then the harassment, defamation, and all that other stuff filed against Steve, Reds, and Ruhif after it's tossed out on Wednesday with prejudice. Now, so he sent an email, and both of them are logged as exhibits in court. The former is an email Mr. Ruhif sent to my employer, falsely accusing me of forging a court document. The second is a true and accurate copy of a Twitter post in which Mr. McCrae publicly states that the hearing on my amended motion to set aside is merely a formality, and that he is taking multiple steps ahead about future criminal proceedings. Provably now, the judge has evidence that Steve has been trying to convince a YouTube audience that he's going to put Kyle in jail. The whole Kyle going to jail meme is now in court. It's real now. It's not a meme anymore, guys. Your boomer memes have damned you. Leroy, hashtag what about busy? What about him? I guess I don't like you anymore, bro. Well, maybe you shouldn't talk so much with 3 crack pipes in your mouth. Always talking with 3 crack pipes in your mouth. Navy says Scotty just hit Steve's case with a Thor's hammer, and it was glorious. She definitely did. She definitely did. So, that is the actual statement. Now, what else is in the statement? 20 pages of evidence. 20 pages of evidence to back up what Kyle has said. So basically, do you believe that they got lucky when they were about to lose the case? All of a sudden, Kyle's ex just happens to fall in their lap. Or do you believe, like me, that they contacted Kyle's ex and prodded and poked him into coming out so that they could try to use him to get out of having their case thrown out in court? Well, it's up to you to make up your mind. Do you believe they gave him an incentive to come out, or do you think he just did it for free? It's up to you to make up your mind. Do you think that they would contact his employers but not contact an ex-boyfriend? Do you think they would contact his employers and let the employer lie to the employers in the same way they lied to the court, but they wouldn't do these other things? And do you think that Ruhif acted alone when he contacted the court? The employers? Do you think that Ruhif acted alone, or do you think that McCrae was helping him contact the employers? It's up to you to make up your mind, but I think that Steve did help him contact those employers. And Ruhif, just wait until they start looking into this whole mess. And when they do, Steve McCrae's going to tell them he never helped you. He's going to put it all on you, and he's going to go running for the hills. He is not going to take a single bit of responsibility for what he did. He's going to act like it was all you, my dude, and he's just going to throw you out in the wind and let you dry. Mark my words. All right, now, do you want to see some of this evidence? We can, I guess. We can see some of this evidence, I guess, but what really matters is, because of what they did now, most everybody who, in the beginning, or at some point since the forgery bullshit came out, people thought that I was going to lose. Steve was going to win, and that Kyle was going to jail. But I have a different thought now after seeing Kyle's filing. I have a different thought. from Rue Hypnol to Frank. Civil legal issue is the subject line. Hi, Frank. I'm involved in a civil suit in North Carolina where it appears that the defendant has falsified documents to mislead the court. This is being said to Kyle's boss. One of the documents in question is a 1099 tax form for 19. I'm hoping you can put me in touch with someone in your legal department who can help us determine whether the document is indeed forged. I'm happy to share with that individual the details of the case. I do not have a subpoena at the moment. I'm just making some initial inquiries. Thanks. So, Ruhif isn't asking the attorneys to contact Kyle's employer to fact-check things. He's telling the boss of Kyle that he's going to subpoena his ass and that he wants his tax papers. Does that make sense to you? And just to make sure you see it, he paid Potts $300 in one statement, and he paid him more money in another. So Potts got the amount of money that he needed to get for Kyle to rent the room. And let's see here. I mean, he's got everything. He's got the Discover statement proving it. He's got, oh, here it is. One's for $300 and one's for $300. So $600 for a month of rent. You know, I think what we got here is checkmate. I think Kyle is going to come out on top. But this is a court case. You never know. Oh, this is proof. Let me check it. There's no identifying information. Well, just so you get to see it, here's his employee filings where Benjamin Potts is his emergency contact. His emergency contact is Ben Potts, but I guess he's lying and forging it all, isn't he? Because in reality, like I said in my last video, it only goes one way. So either Kyle Curtis forged all these documents, went back into court, and just threw it all away. Or Steve McCrae and Red's Rhetoric forged this narrative just like they forged the 50-50 agreement for the Non Sequitur show. And they filed this so that they could attack somebody with their YouTube content and make that money, baby. Because honestly, it's either Kyle forged it or Steve did. Who forged it? Did Kyle forge the documents or did Steve forge this narrative? It's up to you. You make up your own mind. Make up your own mind. I'm not going to convince you. But I think that the evidence in this filing should be more than enough to convince anyone who isn't brainwashed, brain dead, or just trolling for one of the sides involved. You got me? So what are you? Are you skeptical? Are you following the evidence? Because even if you hate Kyle Curtis, it still makes you a scummy person to sit here and just pretend for Steve. And on the other side, it's the same thing. If you're just backing Kyle so that you can just blindly defend him, you're just as scummy then too. But the problem here is, in my opinion, did you see what happened on Twitter a few days ago before all this shit boomed out? I had told people to ask if you're on Steve's side. Like, I don't know, you've been watching Red's Rhetoric at night. If you watch Steve McCrae, if you support them, I told you guys to do the one thing that all of us should be able to do with no issue, and that is to ask Steve McCrae to prove that he has a 50-50 with Kyle to you, his supporters. Back when I got along with him, if you've watched this channel, I asked him to prove it. He told me he had a contract, but then he ended up changing that, right? But what matters is, can he prove that he has a 50-50, not with him talking to Bull, not with him talking to somebody else, that legally he had a 50-50 with Kyle? Can he prove that to you? Does he have a contract? What does he have to prove it to you? Because he doesn't have a contract filed in the court case. In fact, he has nothing. There's no evidence in the court case. All there is a few Discord recordings and a few little, conversations between him and, Bull or somebody. There's nothing in the court case that proves a 50-50. Why doesn't everybody just let this stupid case go now? Wednesday, if it doesn't get thrown out, if it does get thrown out, who cares? We'll report on it Wednesday. We'll see what happens after the hearing. We'll find out. And if the judge ends up not throwing this case out, everybody just needs to move on at this point. Because if there's nothing else that's been proven to you in the last 3 days, it is that Reds and Steve need to clickbait you and create these fake stories about either Kyle or Katie or me or someone else so that they can get your money. Because they found the thing that'll make you donate. And that is the enemy, the us versus them bullshit. And then they got to actually forge some evidence, like those fake emails, those fake screenshots, or how about with POTS? How about with the forging the story about Kyle forging documents? That's what they need to get your money, and they've proven that in the last few days. They also proved that they are willing to exploit anything, even somebody's long-term relationship, to get it. I'm UNIRock. Thanks for watching. Go watch Nate the Lawyer's stream. He's an actual lawyer who broke this down with Agrippa, and they did a better job than I'll be able to do because I'm just a ding-dong UNIRock. I don't know shit about the court system, the law, or any of that. Garbage. I do know evidence, though, and this is evidence. Thank you to everybody that joined the channel tonight. I am going to be on Rock a lot later. If you want to come talk to me, go there. You know what? I promised you guys I'd read some of your comments. As we go out, I'm going to read, type me something that you want to say, and I'll read what my members have to say while we get out of here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Members, hit the chat. I'm going to read you as we go out. CC says, the NSS case has kept me entertained the past few months, so many twists and turns. Supporting Kyle was the best gut reaction I've made in a while. Navy says, hashtag Ruhif broke federal law. Oof, damn. That ain't a boomer meme right there. That is not a boomer meme. There are boomer memes that exist in this realm, but that is definitely not a boomer meme. Wow. Wow. That's scary. That's actually scary. MD says, rock a lot now. After I go to the gas station, I'm going to stream on Periscope for a little bit while I go to the gas station, and then, yes, we'll be on Rock a lot. Boots Mama, please read the PayPal I sent you. I definitely will. It didn't come up, Boots Mama. I'm sorry. Normally, it always does, every time, but my Streamlabs was closed. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Boots Mama, Boots Mama, Boots. I don't see a recent one, Boots Mama. Don't know. Let me try to check one other thing, and I'll see if I can see it. Unless it just went through and it hasn't popped up yet. Go ahead and type it in the chat for me, okay? Type it in the chat, and I'll read it, all right? Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see. I might have it. Please make a cartoon of Busy. I really hope Kyle sees the crap of Steve, Ruhif, and Reds. Sues the crap out of Steve, Ruhif, and Red. I really hope Kyle gets the case thrown out with prejudice. I love Busy and I miss him. Busy misses you too, Jill, and he says he'll get to see you soon on Rock a Lot. So hopefully you'll be there. I guess you plan to go on the Rock a Lot. You're going to go there with me. You're not going to have 4 crack pipes. Not 4? You aren't going to have 4. Okay, if you have 2, then we'll at least be able to mildly understand you. Okay, tonight, right? Oh my God, shut up, Busy. He said he'd be there. He'd be there, Jill. He said he'll be there. Why is Steve confused about 2 electronic signatures looking exactly the same? I mean, I know he's a boomer, but still, Gabriel, you don't ask me, dude. Every electronic signature is gonna look the same. I don't know what I think he's losing it, dude. He's losing it on this. Okay, this is MD. This being the other side of the planet is interfering with my YouTube snark. And Trio says Busy is more competent than Chesh. You know, what do you think about that? Oh, yeah? Oh. Busy's a Cheshire fan. You're really gonna get them mad now. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Oh, do you think dogs need to be fed chocolate? Yeah, you gave Puck chocolate when? Busy, you can't give Puck chocolate. The poor thing, Cheshire gives him too much. Cheshire does it too much, Biz. I miss you guys. I love you guys. I love streaming for you. And I will see you on the Rock-A-Lot tonight. We're going to game out. We're going to have some fun. I appreciate all my members. I couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much for joining the channel. Of course, if you aren't joined and you want to talk to me, the Rock-A-Lot chat will not have member-only mode on. So if you want to talk to me, and you can't because members on, go to the Rock-A-Lot stream that I'll be doing after this. You'll be able to talk to me all you want. So don't be saying I'm squanching your... I know Reds thinks that you squanch criticism if you turn on member-only chat. He'll understand it. Once he gets older, it's all about growing up and getting more educated. Reds will get it as he gets older. And if he just stops drinking so much soy, that'll really help him. Either way. Anyway, before I go, one thing. Before you make up your mind in this stupid case, always wait to hear what the other side has to say. Yes, even Steve's. And look at the evidence. Don't forget that you're skeptical, that you're a debunker, that you're somebody that doesn't just get sold something online and just believe it hook, line, and sinker. Because yes, even debunkers get caught by fake evidence when somebody is scummy enough to use it. But once you realize the truth about this story, which is the other side there, Steve, has been manufacturing fake evidence constantly in this, that you have to have either confirmable things or you don't listen to it. When that shit came out days ago with Kyle, I told everybody to slow down and let us fact check it. And if you the thing is, anybody can debunk those arguments for the bank statements. And once Potts started to get interviewed, Stephen Reds killed their star witness because he started to say things that were contradicted. Does it mean that I'm just blindly supporting Kyle? No, because I'm giving you every reason why I've made up my mind. And you can fact check it yourself. I urge you to. But if you're not going to, then don't tell me. Don't come at me like I'm biased if you're not going to look at the evidence and try to fact check it for yourself. See you on the Rock-A-Lot. Thank you. Like and subscribe.